Good evening. We are live, and my screen is black because I do not want to show my face tonight. However, I can easily just go bloop and show you what I've gotten done so far. Can you turn? Thank you. That's what I have so far. I can actually keep the chat open. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can keep the chat open for once. I don't care if they're slanted. It looks cool anyways. Hello! Come on. This is just a random stream because I'm bored as frig and I'm tired and I'm doing random traditional art. So why not? I have 8 views on my stories on Wattpad or more. I'm not sure how many officially. This is the drawing so far. So, doing something on YouTube, I'm not sure. Probably r/choosing beggars will do for me. Thank you very much. Turn the stupid phone. I should put it on screen lock. Where is it? Where is it? Don't care what the temperature is in Lakefield. Where the heck is screen lock? I always can't find auto rotate, sorry. Thank you. It's from a storybook. I don't do much traditional art, but today I was gonna do this digitally, and I might redo it digitally, but I'm just having some fun over here because I can. Maybe my co-creator might join us. Co-creator, as in she helps me write all the stories with these guys, these lovable, or this guy. One of them is this one. But yeah. Alright, where the frig's my pen? There it is. Alright. Cool. Like, don't think that you're obligated to tell me if you leave, as long as, like, I get to go, I get to... I love how 1 second I say that, and then like the next I go searching for someone. Because a while back, I did another live stream and a friend of mine joined, and then all of a sudden they just gone. I was like, hello, hello. It's kind of funny. Jesus.
Extremely annoyed and said, well, how am I going to eat my cereal? Me, being already annoyed by the walk initially, told her, it's not my problem. Run to the store. This jerk decided to totally jump the chain of command and email the superintendent of the whole county. I was happy it was fine because it was beyond my control. I still had milk to serve for breakfast, just not money. So this jerk decided to still come in 2 days later and ask for a white milk. I said, sure, no problem. But since I was on it, I now have to charge him 55 cents.
Yo.
The look
Where the
on
heck
her
did the eraser
face.
go?
That jerk paid for milk all year. Maybe not crazy penny, but
Okay, there it is.
satisfied me. Hey, Blake, this is Blake. I got your number from Alicia. She mentioned you're selling your laptop. Info, please. Hey man, it's a Toshiba satellite P55 on 2015. Just got
Yeah, so I'm gonna use pencil crayons to make this all glowy. as I said, I'm probably gonna end up redoing this in
Ah, dang, lucky you.
digital
If you
form,
change,
but
you can keep the freebies and just let me have the laptop for less. Oh man, I thought I was already selling Eddie a really good price. I bought it for 1,300, so I was expecting at
oh
least
my god, that looks so good.
You just got a laptop.
Oh my god.
Would you want to recover a
I've
certain
that
amount
looks
of
so good.
laptop? Not like
For like pencil crayon, I've never been able to make an IRL glowing effect. Oh my god.
Sounded like a dick. All good, man. How about I make it 160? You can still have the freebies. How about $100 for the laptop?
Can't do the glowing effect
really
on the
need it
desk
urgently
because I
for
use only
assignments and
markers.
stuff.
But
You can keep the rest. Sorry, can't go that low.
thank you.
Again,
Basically,
at the risk of
like,
sounding like a prick,
okay,
I gotta
I'm
say
gonna
that
explain
I
this.
really
I have to bring you guys close so you can actually,
Get you a free
hear.
laptop
So,
and $100 on top.
it's kind of spoilers for the book, but not really. So this character named Jada, they're a shapeshifter, and they didn't have any powers at the start when they were first introduced. But by the point where they can do this, just before this, they were kidnapped and were taken control of by someone. The only way that they could break control was to knock them out, basically. So they had to knock the person who was under control out. And somehow, there were two of them that this happened to, but this one, each one somehow figured out a way to tell them to knock them out so that they knew. So Jada tells this person to knock them out, and then stops telling them suddenly because they can't do it anymore, right? And when Shannon, which is the friend of mine character, not mine, it's a friend, my co-creator's character, when they said, Jada, I know you're in there, and I want you to know that I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. Because we kind of joke around that they're a weird lizard thing, aka they're cold-blooded is the main thing. They are cold-blooded. So, Jada subconsciously, so that this under control Jada doesn't know, activates her first ever power, or I keep messing up pronouns. Shoot. Their first ever power, which is these restraints that they can make, which just hold them. So, I haven't figured out the color of their magic yet, so I was thinking just doing everything multicolor, which is pretty cool. And this is literally just going to be a doodle page for no reason. It's just going to exist in this book. That is green. Actually, that would... I wanted lime green, don't I? Yeah. So far in the series, that book hasn't been released yet. Like the first book with Jada and Bets and all the shapeshifters, that book has not been released yet. What's being released next is a prologue, or not a prologue, prequel, which is called Hardwired. It's Hardwired, a Donuts and Dragons prequel event is what it's going to be called. And then there's the crossover, which is where the shapeshifters first come in. And then they really start to come in the next book, and then they have a whole, like, the bad side of the shapeshifters has this whole group, like, has this whole book basically dedicated to them. And that book is going to be kind of a crossover, kind of not. It has, basically, what we agreed on was that we'd have one of my co-creator's characters come into this story and help them out. And what ends up happening is, first of all, we get a whole bunch of redeemed villains at once, plus one irredeemable one we figured out. But what happens is they find all the other main shapeshifters. There's 13 in total, but the main ones, there are 6 main ones that actually play major roles. And they have real names, but most of them don't remember them. Long story. So that's where they come in, and then this book is the second crossover that we're thinking on doing, which is actually a really, really fun one. Like, super fun. Which has, as I said, Jada and Taylor under control first. And because they've been under control for so long, after they were kidnapped, because they were under control for so long, they have to be knocked out to get the control broken. And then today, by listening to Night Cove the Fox, A+ music creator, after I showed my co-creator that, it reminded us of a villain, basically the leader of this villain group, who is like irredeemable. We cannot redeem her, or at least for now. There is no plan on redeeming her for now. But we don't know what the future holds. But anyways, so what this girl does in a last-ditch effort is when she's running past these cells that have a whole bunch of people, and each cell has a shapeshifter in it, and she's like, oh, hold on a second, I can quickly take control of them and have them attack them, is basically what she does. And instead of having to be knocked out, they just have to be punched hard, like, because if you punch a shapeshifter hard, it also in this universe is kind of weird, if you punch a shapeshifter hard enough, they'll lose concentration and won't be able to hold their form, like hold whoever their form is. So if you punch the character at that strength, it'll also break the control that the person has over them. So that's how that story's going. Another, like, basically this page though that I'm working on is not just for the Donuts and Dragons guys. Oh no, there's so many more stories that we have. Like, I'm so excited to draw the first picture of what's her name? Luna. Yes? Luna. I couldn't remember which one I was drawing first. And I'm thinking I have an idea on how to draw this character named Luna, on what I'm going to draw them doing. But yeah. So how are you this fine evening? If you're still there, I don't know if you are, but if you are, Julio. It was really awesome today, like, when I go onto Wattpad this morning and find out that 8 people have seen our stories, like, it was awesome. That super freaking scared me. So, it always scares me when lights flicker. I'm not even like epileptic or anything. It scares me all the time. And the lights just flickered again, and I'm hoping that it's because of a poor connection on that, and not because the power's gonna go out. Because if the power goes out, the live stream ends suddenly, and we're all screwed. Everyone's gonna be like, where the frick did she go? Is she dead? No, we had a power outage. And only those in like Peterborough and my area will know. Like, God. Like, okay, so we get home from this really long trip today, and we have to unload a whole bunch of stuff, and we're thinking, oh, it's gonna be fine. And all of a sudden, my dad gets out of the car, and the wind starts blowing really hard, and Dad opens the passenger door on my brother's side and says, like, after my brother got out, and says, there's hail. And I'm like, hail? Or rain? And he goes, hail. And I'm sitting here like, it's the middle of summer. Like, even in Canada, where everyone thinks it's always cold, like, it's not normal to have hail. Oh, in the middle of summer. Like, what? No, that's not how hail. No. No. Honestly, this does not look that bad. I thought this was gonna be a whole lot worse, but actually, like, man, that's A+. Like, okay. Like, I'm super proud of that. Kind of tempted to add a background, but I'm worried it's gonna ruin it if I do. It's fine. It's fine. Alright. Okay, what am I gonna draw? Oh yeah, okay. Fun fact for y'all who don't know, Mary, you know what this is. So there's this thing called heterochromia, and actually some people have it in real life. And heterochromia means that you have two different colored eyes. Normally it's like a blue and a green one, like, you know, normal colors, right? But in our universe, basically eyes can be practically any color you want them to be. It's weird, but that's how... Yeah, okay, I'll draw them. Anyways, but in our universe, eyes can be almost any color, but normally people have normal colored eyes. It's a long story. If you come from, like, either the wizard world or you have magic, normally your eyes are not a natural color. Great example is Allegra Sky, or Hayami Sky, whatever you want to call her. She has one red and one like, vibrant red and one vibrant blue eye. Her mom was supposed to have magic, but didn't, and that's the irredeemable villain. It's bullshit, but it's a redeemable part of my language, but it's... God. I barely want to even say her name. And Azami is a freaking, like, Like, at first, I used to want to throw Lilith into the sun as hard as I could, and then I watched the last episode of season 1, and I didn't want to throw her into the sun anymore. Azami, I don't think I'm ever gonna not want to throw her into the sun. As of right now, we don't know what's gonna happen with Azami, because Mary, my good friend, she brought up, like, some actual, like, good points that I'm not sure if I'm gonna that make me not sure if I'm gonna keep her as irredeemable or not. I'm thinking on keeping her as irredeemable, but I don't know yet. Kind of want to add a background, but, like, I don't want to ruin it. So I'm gonna draw Quinn first. Alright, yeah, it was actually, like, So Clover's speech, like legit, I'm sitting here last night and I'm thinking in my head, because like I kept thinking, Azami like is irredeemable by this point. Look how much she's done to these poor guys and everything. And like I've been thinking in my head, she's irredeemable. And now like with your speech, I just realized like how deep we can go. Like, did Allegra ever know her grandparents? Like, what happened? Like, it would be insane if we like dove deeper into this. Well, I mean, like the original plan wasn't going to be that. The original plan was just going to be she's a brat who's an absolute idiot and just wants the world to burn. Like she was just jealous because she never got powers or anything. That was the original plan. But like now that you mentioned it last night, I was like that actually kind of like the other thing is like, okay, so as most of you guys know on YouTube, I am a freaking baby when it comes to most animated TV shows. As soon if they're ending or like if there's a really sad episode, I will cry. There is like, and like there's no reason I wouldn't, right? Or like, you know that legitimate sinking feeling you get when something really bad happens or when something is unknown? Like an outcome is unknown? Well, my good co-creator, who's here right now, Mary, she is a freaking... Okay, I go on the document, because we were working on Google Docs, and because we decided to change a few things in this one story that we have. And we're changing it, right? And she says, hey, she brings up the idea of dragon root, and long story short, dragon root affects her really poorly, like really badly, to the point that if there was a big enough concentration, she could die. That is explained early on in most in these, like, in the books with the shapeshifters thus far. So, yeah. However, somehow, Azami gets her hands on some, and because she had threatened Bets basically with her family's... Is this black? No, it's navy blue. Basically with her family's life, Bets ended up telling her a little bit about Shannon, including the dragon root situation. So Azami figured out how to use it against her, and yeah, that's where a certain Taylor is revealed. Like, Taylor was in the book earlier, but like she hadn't really been fully, like, she hadn't talked. They hadn't talked like the whole time. I really like Taylor. So okay, it's hard not to pick favorites when you're writing books like this, and trust me, especially when you have all these brilliant shapeshifters in this story. I think my favorites have to be, it's a toss-up between Quinn, Taylor, and Vex. I really like Jada. They're a very good innocent character. But if we don't want innocence at play, it's really hard to choose between those two because they're all very feisty and they're all awesome. Let's just say that. Actually, you know what? This background it didn't really ruin anything, and I'm kind of happy with that. Because I added a background to the first drawing. And it looks super good. In my opinion, at least. Like, imagine, like, me digitalizing all these. Like, oh, that'd be so cool. And I'm planning on it, too, but I'm planning on it. I am planning on digitalizing most of these. What song is that? Why is that stuck in my head, and what song is it? Not that one. It just... I'm not thinking of the song that I just hummed. It's just that kind of sounds like the start of the song, even though it's not. I always have this problem. Just randomly, I'll just be like, okay, what's that one song that goes like doo doo doo, and then I'll just be like stuck on that thought for the rest of the day. Like, I added a background. So what do you think? Probably gonna end up digitalizing it at some point. Alright, now to draw Quinn, and then I'm thinking on drawing Luna afterwards. Either that, or I'm going to draw... Not Morgana. Why did I almost say Morgana? Lydia. I was thinking on drawing Lydia. Who the freak would want to draw Morgana? I'm just kidding. Morgana? Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. When you think Morgana, I want you to think of, what's her name? Shoot. Is it I don't want this to be wrong. Because I watched the show. I kept, like, telling you I'm watching the show, all that kind of stuff. Azula? Am I thinking the wrong name? Because Azura is from Owl House. I'm trying to think of Zuko's sister. And I don't know why I can't think of her name suddenly. But when you think Lydia, or not Lydia, Morgana, think Zuko's sister with no pained backstory. Yes, yeah, Azula. So think Azula with, number one, no painted backstory. And number two, like, basically what I'm saying is think them going insane. And with nothing. No fight, no nothing. The only reason Morgana's insane is because basically she was born that way. And then as soon as her quote-unquote daughter, I'm not going to explain that, but as soon as she was taken away, yeah, well, it's just, the other thing is I was thinking on making a whole bunch of digital, like, drawn homemade stickers for my laptop that were like, or a notebook cover that's just a whole bunch of like random quotes that really suit the shapeshifters or Allegra and so on and so forth. And I was actually kind of thinking on using a version of something that Clover said. Like, I'd change it up a little bit, kind of shorten it, and it was the one about forgiving yourself, or like, it was also like, I wanted to shorten the whole phrase, like, that was said to, yeah. I really have inside today. Okay. Oh! I'm watching people die inside off camera. Oh! This guy holds up a lightsaber and lights it up. And it's like, huh, a lightsaber. Interesting. Like, I think it was Darth Maul or someone says it. And then a stormtrooper walks up to them and says, if there's any Jedi left, it's not you. And then someone says affirmative. And it's just like, oh no. Like, no, that's mean. That's mean. What should I draw Quinn doing? Hey Mary, what should I draw Quinn doing? Oh. Mary? You still there, child? Or is anyone there? What should Quinn be doing? I don't know what to draw Quinn doing. I have the only ones that are showing up are Azula, Zuko sisters is like, ooh, I like it, Azula, Zuko sisters, Azula, yes I'm still here, are my messages not showing up? I just don't know what to draw Quinn doing. I'm gonna be honest, it could just be like the app I use glitching, I don't know. But let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I didn't get anything. I don't know what I'm gonna draw Quinn with. Ah. Or doing. Not with, doing. Doing. And I need a suggestion. I'm sorry, I just remembered that we were gonna write a scene. Basically, I was literally imagining in the truck when I texted you that, I was literally imagining just Knox punching, of course, punching Quinn or someone punching Quinn because they thought knocking them out would, you know, as with most of them, that's how it happened. Whereas with them, they just have to be like punched once. So I'm just imagining Nox or someone punching them and then going to punch them again, trying to knock them out. And it's like, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. And they're just, thanks for not punching me again. That was painful enough. Oh no. Okay, what should Corinne be doing? Wait. Now I'm just imagining just a random scene, like it doesn't like just like a little like short comic strip, and they're doing that, and then just suddenly Shannon just walks over and starts dragging the chair, and they're so determined to keep their feet on the chair, they just wrap their legs around it, just like, no, my chair. They just get dragged around Star Labs. I don't know why, but that just seems really funny to me. Almost funnier than Chris goes zoom, like one of your guys goes zooming across the room on the chair, and it's just like, professionals, huh? And then all of a sudden you just hear Chris go, my turn, my turn. It just reminds me of that. Oh my god. I'm sorry, but I'm just laughing remembering that scene. There's so many really memorable scenes that are like super funny to me, and I don't know why. I mean, like, it just makes me laugh, just like remembering all the funny scenes you come up with. Because there's been a lot of funny ones, and there's been a lot of just random, like, there's been a lot of funny ones, there's been a lot of sad ones, a lot of just ones. I think one of the funniest pictures to me is just, because, like, it's going to be a really, like, surreal moment, but it's just super funny to me just seeing, like, I'm just imagining the perspective of Amber just, like, opening the door and literally doing the presentation pose, just, like, pointing to the two guys at the table. And it's just Jackson and Thomas sitting across from each other, and they're just playing Speed. And then it's just like, he looks up for like 2 seconds and then just like looks at them just like, oh my god. And then basically just like, Jackson. Just like tapping his hand, just like, Jackson, turn around. Because as though Jackson found out like that morning that Jackie's alive and that Allie's alive and okay, they don't know that Jackson's alive and okay, and Tommy is alive and okay. They don't know like anything. It's like, Jackson, we've got visit Daniel. Oh. What kind of chair? Just a rolly chair? And like, do you want them basic, like because I'm thinking like their head would be leaning back just looking at someone, and I'm not sure if I want to do like a front view of that, or a back view, or a side view. I'm not sure yet. What do you think, Mary? So probably a front view would be funnier. Oh, I got an idea. I got a really good idea. I got a really, really, really good idea. And this is why they're a part of Shannon's family, just so that they can make Shannon's life just a little bit more weirder and lighthearted. As well as, I mean, like, free babysitter, right? Not that they know how to take care of a kid. I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. Okay. After I got this, I'm just imagining Vex just like holding Shannon's kid and being like, what am I supposed to do with him again? Or like, what do humans do again? How do humans exist again? Help! Somebody help me with this human baby that I have no idea what to do with. Where the frick did my eraser go again? Oh my god, why did my eraser go missing at the last moment? But come on, Mary, you can't tell me that wouldn't be, like, hilarious. No, just, like, legitimate. Okay, is Milo human? I always wondered that. Is Milo human? Or at least part human? Or more used to humans than a shapeshifter would be? Specifically Quinn. Because I'm just imagining Quinn or Vex just holding the baby literally like way out in front of them. Or not even the baby, just the kid. The kid could be like 10 years old, or be like 6 years old. Just holding him out in front of them and just being like, what do I do with him again? Or just like, Clover, I need help. I was like, bleh. I don't know what to do. Danny Phantom. Sorry, your message your messages show up lagged for me. So you're getting the questions late and I'm getting the answers late. So all I'm thinking now is Danny Phantom. Milo Phantom. Danny Phantom. No, don't lose my phone. Stop it! Can you just log like this, like I told you to, phone? Oh, you unlocked that. You're just being an absolute buffoon. An absolute moron. I don't care who likes my video TikTok. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just imagining. So like Quinn's one of the younger ones, right? So the three younger ones in order from youngest to oldest for the three younger ones is Jada and Jasper are tied for youngest. And then it's Quinn, right? So they're like a part of the youngest group. So like I'm just imagining like they basically know nothing about humans and like they sleep like or like really anything that's normal per se. So like they won't like they learn how to sleep on the floor in a weird position instead of learning how to, do it properly. I mean, I slept on the floor. Trust me, it's not that bad sleeping on the floor. You shouldn't have to sleep on the floor, but sometimes you do, and honestly, it wasn't that bad when I had to. Like, I'm just imagining, just like Shannon walking over and finding Quinn like half asleep, hanging onto the chair with with their legs, and they're just kind of like shaking the chair a little bit, and it's just like, "Can I help you?" And I was just like, "I need the chair," and it's like, "No, it's my chair," and that's how the whole dragging situation came to be. Either that or they're just bored. Is my phone charging? Okay, we're good. It's charging. It's charging. We're good. Okay. You can see everything they did to me when they're high. We look just like you. I don't care who's live on. Chicken to truck. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that video to find out what's going on with the FNAF movie. I really want to know, but I'm just not going to. Mary, just so you know, your messages, if you're sending messages, they're not showing up again. Wait. Yeah, they're the one who wears the same clothes as Jada, right? They're also pretty short in comparison to most of the other ones. Which is really funny. Turn it up and knock me down. Shoot me out, spin me out. Of course we should. Cool. I'll probably fill them out later tonight. Just right now, I'm too lazy to go up and get my laptop. I gotta read the... Come on, come on. You make me feel invincible. You make me feel. But seriously, your reality is like, okay. So if you guys know Nightcode the Fox, Mary and I know them now. I've known them since start of quarantine. Mary, I just introduced to them. They make a lot of FNAF songs, and one of the FNAF songs they made is perfect for our main villain. Is it sad I used to do this exact thing that Quinn's doing right now, which is just dangle from a chair like this? And it was like basically this exact chair. So what used to happen is, so I have a weird back, and by weird, it's the only reason why it's weird is because I have literally no arches. And it's not just no arches, it's fallen arches in my feet, which means when I walk, it's a long story, right? What is this not true? Lost the eraser again. How many times is this now? I think 4. There it is. So sometimes when I had my old really big desk, I used my rolly chair. I rolled it in front of me, and I lied on the ground and just put my feet up on it. Either that or in my chair, I would put my feet up on the desk and I'd lean the chair back. I've never once fallen out of that chair, I will tell you that. The only time I've fallen... There was this one time in our drama class someone fell out of a rolly chair. Story time. This kid. He's a good guy. He was a good guy. He's not guy. He's a good guy. So... oh, this still makes me laugh to this day. So, we're doing a practice run of our plays this one time, and he sits in the rolly chair, which is attached to a desk, and it falls out from under him because he sat on the edge. We all were super worried because he seemed to hit the wall really hard, but apparently he only hit his arm, so he was fine. So what ended up happening was someone else was like, let me take that chair, and he went to go sit in another chair. Sorry, this makes me laugh so hard. He goes to sit in another chair and almost falls. But that's just because he was tripping on the chairs. So he sits in that chair and it's fine, and someone switches spots with him and goes to sit in this chair and almost falls again. He almost falls again. And I'm just like, Like, the person who sat in the chair almost fell again. So our joke was that that specific pink desk chair had it out for us. Because when I sat in it, it almost fell too. And it wasn't because we were sitting up at the front of it, because I tried sitting at the back and almost fell. You had to sit, like, almost in the middle of it for it to work properly. It was like... It was... Okay. Our drama class was chaos, but most of the time it was lovable and handleable chaos. Underlined most of the time. Because I've mentioned this in so many freaking live streams, it's insane. Yeah. I personally, so like the drama class itself, if I'm going to give my honest opinions on it, 8 out of 10. I'm not going to take it again, but if you want to take a drama class one year, do it. Just do it. It's a good one. It's just, I personally didn't get as much enjoyment as I wanted, I guess. It was a good class, it's just I don't want to take it again, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. But anyways, so I think one of the funniest ones in this class, or another really funny one in this class, we had the substitute teacher the one day. Okay. And I walk in and I kind of look at her and I'm like, I just kind of look at her for a second. I'm thinking in my head, do I know her? And she looks at me and says, I know you from somewhere, don't I? And I say, I have no idea. So then they brought up that way back when PCBS was actually a school, PCVS, whatever it was a school and used to teach the dramatic arts that she used to teach there. And I looked at her and I said, I raised my hand as soon as she said that. I was like, oh my god. So I raised my hand and I looked at her and I said, did you teach insert my oldest sister's name by chance, right? Because I was curious. And she said, yes. So then I told her who I was, and she's like, oh, so that was an interesting day. And I said, I'll say hi to her for you. And then I explained to my sister that night after I messaged her saying, bro, like, sis, I met your drama teacher. Don't know what grade, but I met her. So that was a pretty good day. There was also, like... Okay, so there was this one day, just before Christmas break, not March break, because that would have sucked. There was this one thing, just before Christmas break, there was this movie. And most of us got in, unless, like, some of us didn't know. And some of us did know. Like, luckily our drama teacher was smart enough to tell us. But some of our class still didn't bring loonies because they were planning on just not going at all, but we all ended up going. It was super funny because when we got there we were watching a movie that basically no one had ever watched, right? And some of us would just kind of talk quietly, or we would draw, or we would just silently play on our phones. We'd be quiet. I mean, online we'd be quiet, and we weren't doing anything mischievous. We were just kind of drawing. It was even funnier because, like, I was sitting behind Mary at the time. Behind? I don't know where I was in comparison to you. But, it was super funny. Suddenly, about midway through the movie, suddenly we just hear through these speakers, like, someone near me who was my friend, I don't think it was Mary, I think it was someone else, pointed out, those speakers are on, right? Because it was a little bit quiet. It was a little bit weird that the sound wasn't coming from the speakers, but they were on. So we thought nothing of it. Suddenly, the Monsters Inc. theme starts... Right. It was so... No, I was beside you. I might have been beside you. Or was that Sakara? Might have been beside... I was beside someone is the main thing. And they pointed out, those Bluetooth speakers are on, aren't they? And I said, I don't know. So about midway through the start of the movie, suddenly we just hear the Monsters Inc. theme start. And we all knew it was the ear-rape version because they stopped it before it got to the certain point. And we're all just kind of sitting there like, the heck just happened? We're all sitting there like that. And then, a few minutes later, they rickroll us. And they get this going for a long while until a whole class left and the Bluetooth speakers were turned off. So it turns out that someone in that class had been doing it, and apparently everyone except for one person was allowed to return back to the movie a little bit later, and never happened again. But it was funny to me. It's not funny, like, it's not fun. Don't do that. If you're in a movie theater, if you're watching a movie with your whole school, don't be an idiot and do that. Because you will get caught, I'm telling you. It was just super funny to me that this person just like, the whole school is in front of me. Let's do this. Focus. There. Quinny. Okay. Who? Knox called her Quinny. Called them Quinny, didn't they? Didn't he? Okay. Oh, I just realized something. Okay, Quinn gets so beaten up. In all the stories, Quinn gets really beaten up. Like, originally they were going to be stabbed at one point, and I decided against it later. But then we changed it to when they got kidnapped, right? And because they're so feisty and wanted to put up a fight, they were trying to escape and got their wrists like really like raw and like kind of bleeding because they were trying to break free from their ropes. And then because one of them was trying to remain silent for everyone's safety, Azami goes after Knox and grabs him, thinking, oh, he knows something. No. So then he threatens to like using poor Quinn as a freaking threat. She puts the knife up against their throat and literally ends up cutting it. And they eventually yell the address of wherever they need to go, right? They get so beat. Like, oh, that was so much fun. That was okay. So yesterday, me and Mary had a distance meetup, and we were like, I said I'm gonna do something like late last night. Yeah. So I said I'm gonna do something, or no, it was when I got home. I said I'm gonna do something, and she goes, "What?" And I go, and I share a document with her, and she goes into the document, and one of the first scenes, like the first scene, we read one of the first scenes, and then she's like, "I have a good idea." So she says, after we write like a few scenes, she goes, "Hey, do we have like?" She says, "Can we have Knox kidnapped? Because if so, oh, I have the perfect idea for this." And I said, "Oh," and she goes, "Yeah." So I said, "Sure." And I said, and it's like, okay. And I said, so in the cell right beside where most of the ECPD goes, and she's like, okay, as long as they can be tied up. And I'm like, okay, sure. And they paste the scene, and I said, and it said, like, the options were he, she, they, so on and so forth, right? And I put into brackets, do you want shy or feisty? And she goes, feisty. I'm like, okay, so Quinn. Or Facet 5 was the other name. But it was funny. We got like a whole bunch of writing done that one day. And I was thinking on going back and doing some writing tonight, but I'm not sure. Probably just so we can get some of the scenes with the second attack, or the third and fourth technically attacks, because like what I'm thinking what happens is of course, I almost said Vex, not Vex. Of course, Taylor's happens. They go home and actually tell them what just happened, right? Right? I'm thinking they go home and tell what happened and so on and so forth. And then when Azami wakes up and realizes that those three are gone, she's like, "Oh crap." And actually gets really worried that there's going to be backup coming. And what she does is that's when she goes running to the cells, basically twinkling her, like basically doing like a throwing motion as she runs by, and suddenly the two shapeshifters just suddenly basically collapse against the wall. Yeah. Like they basically collapse against the wall holding their head, and then they start attacking. It's like, oh no. Because somehow I'm thinking they could like maybe Nox just like I don't know how, but maybe Nox just thinks about trying to knock out one of them. Like knock out Quinn, and like someone punches them, and then like they actually snap out of it that fast, and then Nox just goes for it, in for it again. It's like, I'm up, I'm good, it's me. Compared to the other two who had to be knocked out. So just a little thought. I love how most of like our ideas literally stem from me just saying, okay, random idea. Like, that's how you know like we're a lot alike, because normally our ideas start with one of us saying, okay, I have a really cool idea, or I have a random idea. Another song that for some reason really reminds me of these stories is Fallen Angel for a lot of the characters. Mainly actually the shapeshifters. The main thing, like, especially when the lyrics, just let go kind of thing, it really reminds me of Vex. Or not Vex. Taylor. When they're under control. So far, I won't let you fall tonight. Or it comes from us listening to songs and just saying, listen to the song and tell me what it reminds you of. Okay, that's how today went. Alright, you ready to see the official outcome? Freaking. Yeah, Quinn's shorter than you think, man. Quinn's way shorter than you think. A lot of them are shorter than you think. So of course, like, I'm gonna point out, Bets is taller than Shannon. So if Bess like just taller than Shannon, Jada's at her knees. Or at their knees. Jada's at Beth's knees. That means that what's their name? Jasper's also at Beth's knees. Quinn is at Beth's waist. Like not where their belts, it's like, actually yeah, where their belt sits. About. And then Vex is like just shorter. Like probably Like, still taller than Shannon, but yeah. And then I almost missed Facet 3. Taylor is like just shorter than Shannon. Just shorter, like shoulders. So a lot of them are really short, like a lot shorter than you'd think, right? Like, what next? What next? What next? What next? What next? What next? Ooh, I know exactly what next. I know exactly what next. It's actually something that might scare you, because, like, you haven't seen it. So you don't. When I say Azami's heterochromia eyes, you know generally what I'm talking about, but you don't know how terrifying I'm imagining it. So I'm gonna draw Vex with the heterochromia eyes. Not Vex. Taylor. Jeez. And the funniest thing is I finally decided what colors Azami's eyes are gonna be. Okay. I'm just gonna put this up here. I'm in the end game. This is my colors. Correction, colors. And yes, I'm correcting you because heterochromia means multiple colors, remember? And yes, Azami got this trait, but her eyes are slightly lighter, less like, what's the word? Yes, I do know you meant Mary. What's the word? Concentrated. It's another way of saying concentrated, sort of. Yeah, we have. But you understand what I mean. So Azami's eyes are lighter versions of same colors that what's her face? Why did I say what's her face? Allegra has. Because she never got the magic. I always come back. You know evil lives on. You know evil lives on. That I can be your beloved trusted friend. Reality. Literally what happened was I had been listening to a bunch of songs all day, but this one just for some reason was like standing out to me and I didn't know why. So I listened to it over and over again and I'm like, wait, I know why. because it reminds me of of one of the characters. Okay. I vote that just for fun, someone at the ECPD gave them a bandana to put over their mouth instead of the old one that they had, just so that I don't have to draw multiple colors. Cause they're at ECPD, whereas Quinn and Jasper and Vex are with you. Where's the blue? Where's the normal blue? Not dark blue. The normal blue. And the only shapeshifter who has naturally heterochromic eyes, I guess you could call it, is Bets because of the stupid stunt she pulled, or they pulled. Yes, I'm thinking Shannon will continuously call it the stupid stunt they pulled. Because it was kind of stupid. There's probably, it was smart and stupid at the same time. Because, number one, it was smart because nobody would expect Bets to do that, number one. But number two, it was stupid because nobody knew the outcome. Okay. The one statement, okay. Okay. I love Shannon anyways. Shannon's awesome anyways, but there was one specific statement that she said that made me love her all that more. And I'm gonna surprise you, it had nothing to do with the first crossover where Shannon first came into the frame. Had nothing to do with that. So it was it's not technically, we don't call it the second crossover, we call it kind of like okay, so we don't call it technically the crossover, it's the second after the crossover, is what we're calling it for now, because it has no title. But it just resonates with me so much, because it just proves that Shannon is super trusting and awesome and motherly and just amazing, and it made me not fall for it made me fall in love with her more than it did when she just trusted Jada, because trusting Bets is the harder one. I'm gonna tell you, trusting Bets is way harder, right? So okay, I can barely say it because when I say it, it sounds really almost awkward, but I really love the line. So I need to change how she said it, how Beth said it, because how Beth said it was, catch me if I fall, the only favor I need to ask you is catch me if I fall, okay? And they sounded, I wrote that they sounded in a certain way, and I'm thinking that they sounded a little bit more scared when they said that, instead of how they actually sounded, or how they sounded in the book that we wrote so far. But anyways, when Shannon goes around and holds Bets's arms and says, "You're not even gonna fall because I have you," that made me Ah! I'm sorry I stalled so much for that, but like, Shannon! Because, like, I'm kind of thinking on making that, like, less than just catching themselves, more like they actually do almost, like, fall. And that line just still resonates. That line is still an absolutely amazing line to me. Because, like, basically it's at it's almost any moment where Shannon either shows her motherly side or when Shannon, like, promises that she's not gonna hurt anyone or let anybody hurt someone kind of thing. Like when she said at the "I'm not gonna hurt you" to Jasper, that was a pretty good one too. Their hair is just normal blue, isn't it? Where is my, like, my damn blue marker? It's like my good blue marker with the brush tip on it. And I can fill stuff in instead of, oh, there's my chisel tip. Oh, it's 69, no, that one's 72. It's funny how, because nobody gets what I'm talking about. I'm just naming numbers to you guys. But like, sometimes I lie like in my bed some nights, just like, and all I just want to say is like, how dare you, Mary, because you got me to, like, literally love of a character that I started by barely knowing them, and then all of a sudden I know practically everything, and I can write most scenes with them. Now because like, or with her, because like now I'm just like, I like when she's actually, in the picture. I hope you're still hearing me. What picture's behind it? Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. I'm probably going to head on to the dock and off the stream soon, just because it's late, and I don't want to get in trouble for, But, like, I just love Shannon. Is it bad I love Shannon? Probably. But I digress. Because I got a problem. That I messed up the jackets and I'm feeling really bad about it. So I must make their hair darker. And I can't make their hair darker with a darker marker. So where the freak's my darker marker? No, don't fall. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. No. I can lift you. I got you. Don't fall. You fell. You jerk. You're just hearing me, like, die over here. Nothing much, just dying. How much hair I still been for like an hour ago? Where the frick is the marker? Why is that marker? Okay, good. No one. I'm okay with that marker getting destroyed. Ah. orange one, I think. Or is that the old green? I'm not sure yet. That's old. There's my blue. That's not the right blue, I'm not sure. But there's my blue. I need my 69 blue. Because it's darker. I think. Here's my red. Or well, my old crimson. You're just hearing me freak out in the corner over 69 blue, and nobody will understand why I'm yelling 69 blue. Unless you know how art markers work. You know how art markers work? Congratulations, you probably know why I'm screaming 69 blue. Because I don't know the actual name of that marker, but I know the number of it. Because it doesn't give me the name, it gives me the number. Yo, Mary, did you hear the line that I found to be one of my favorites? I don't want to repeat that. Freaking searching for my 69 marker. Well, it's not that it's my favorite line. It's the one that made me love, like, Shannon that much more. Where the frick did it go? What? Sucks! I can't actually scream because I'll wake up my parents and they'll get mad at me. Yeah. Like, that's just... You know those moments? No, I actually didn't. I know exactly where my stylus is. It's downstairs, and I had to go get it. I freaking misplaced a marker. And the problem is, I messed up coloring on them, and I can't fix it unless they have a darker color. Unless we want them to have the same color hair as their sweater. It might be a different color. Should I try it? I'm going to, because I'm too lazy to go searching again. Is this different? Kinda is. Very much so is. You're good. I'll use you, because you're more blue, and you're good to go. Actually, now that I look at it, it actually does look better like this, because it looks like the other blue is more green, which makes your sweater look teal, which makes everything right. But just, Shannon, I don't know, just... I love our Shannon. I'm just gonna say that. I love her. Amazing, Shannon. I actually, like, the funniest thing is I've never talked about narts. Narts? Really? That's a bromance name and a half. No. Oh no. That was a bad one. That was a bad one. Nox, not narts. Nox. Oh god. I've like we've never talked about him that much except that it's Shannon's husband. That's literally all we've mentioned, is that it's Shannon's husband. That's all I've heard about him. Until this recent story. And yes. He will do what he has to protect his family. And he's very, like, family oriented. Like Shannon. Well, I find Shannon family oriented to me. That's just to me, though. I might be completely wrong. Yep. Yeah, that was an accidental. You're not gonna let me live that down, are you? Hurts. Yeah. So are you calling Shannon annoying? Not gonna lie, Shannon can probably be annoying. That's just me. Not that she isn't. Like what I'm saying, everyone can be annoying at times. Oh, he likes to annoy people. Ah, I see. Should they wear pink? No, they're wearing red. A red bandana. Screw that. That just seems amazing. Like another bandana they wear is a red bandana. Because red just seems... It contrasts with them, right? So it just looks awesome. Well, no, really? She could be very stunning. No, crap. It's not like she literally disobeyed what Betts was trying to tell her to do. Betts wanted them to stay away, and no. Anyways. So you see that right there? Focus. Thank you. Normally their eyes aren't that color. Normally, I think their eyes are blue, aren't they? I forget what brown. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. As I said, I'm probably going to end up digitalizing most of these doodles. But, yeah. Do you want to see Jada with the eyes? Oh, God. I find Jada is going to be really, really creepy with them. Just in my head. The other thing is, like... Okay, I had to draw stuff. But, okay. So, hear me out. When Shannon has the fight with Jada, there is a reason why Jada talks more than freaking... Why did I say freaking? Than Taylor did. There's a reason why they talk more. And you probably can guess that reason. So I'm going to ask you to guess that reason. If you get it wrong, then I'll just tell you. No, not that. Like, okay. Just in general, Jada talks more. Even when it's revealed they're not their mom, Jada still talked more. There's a reason behind it. And I'm not comparing them to anyone else. I'm only comparing them to Taylor, so that's a little bit easier. So the reason, think about it. I'm not telling you to actually think about it. I'll tell you the answer. So think about it for a second. When the one person that Taylor shapeshifts into is Jada. Something that Jada wears a lot is a ribbon / bandana around. It's like a bandana-ish thing. Normally, or often, Jada will wear that around their neck and pull it up. The day that Jada got hurt with Clover, Jada had the thing around their neck. So it didn't seem unusual to Clover that that was around their mouth, right? If they talked, the thing could have come down. And it would be obvious, because how they talk would have been a little bit weird, because they don't want to talk too wide because of the stitches. Whereas Jada had nothing to worry about. Jada just had to keep Shannon convinced that they were her mother for a bit. Didn't work very well. Didn't work for too long. It worked for it worked well for a few seconds, and then but like, I also really love how Shannon basically, even though she knows that Jada was in there, but she wasn't entirely sure if Jada could hear her. It was still like, she still apologized for what she did. And Bets is just worried about everything because they've done everything wrong. In their eyes, they were the worst because they always had their name. They never got, you know, the whole 9 yards. But I might take that scene out. I just might. Just because it's a little bit over dramatic for this book. And Bets doesn't really often think about that. Like, they do, it's just they're not that remorseful. They're not, like, super freaking out about it or anything. So. Ooh. I just remembered something insane. When Jada's fighting with Shannon, Jada's wearing the coat that she made to look like Shannon's coat. Oh my god. That's like a whole lot worse than just as Jada changing to their mom. Because they literally made that jacket to look like Shannon's. They asked someone, can you make this jacket look like Shannon's? Basically is what they did. Either that or they just stole Shannon's coat. Not sure yet. Probably the one before, but anyways. It just freaks me out at that. Like, oh my god, I'm so dark. Like, I can be dark, but like, when I realize someone's gonna be really hurt by something, like emotionally, I'm like, oh no. Oh. And now it's just like, where the frick's that pen? The other thing I just remembered is at one point, Orla literally says, as long as that shapeshifter, instead of saying as long as Bets, it's as long as that shapeshifter doesn't step anywhere near me or Chris, I don't trust him. It's like, jeez, ow. What the? I think that's 6 times I've lost the eraser. Where the heck did it go this time? Oh God. Where the heck is the skin tone? Well, not skin tone. It's per se. It's up to you. It's up to me. How can we rewrite the stars? Say you want me to be mine. Nothing can keep us apart. You're the one I meant to find. It's up to you. It's up to me. I don't know the rest of the words of the song. How do we rewrite the stars? Where the heck did the crayons go? How do I lose an entire jar of pencil crayons? A giant jar at that. It's a bear-shaped jar. How do I lose it? Where did I move it to? Oh. Don't worry, I'm just really stupid. And don't worry, I know you need that. Keep us apart. The one I was meant to find. How can we rewrite the start? Which one? Which video? Depends which video you're talking. I don't know what video you're talking about. By the way, oh yeah, that was way back. I was legitimately just. This is on my personal TikTok, by the way, guys, for future. I posted that way back, and I'm legitimately just scrolling through my videos just for fun to see how far I've come, to see what just for fun, and I find it, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's our quarter. It's like, oh my god, I missed that quarter. Alright, are you about to see? Are you ready? Or about to? Are you ready to see? 3, 2, 1. 1/2. 1/3. 1/4. 1/8. Too bad. Freaking focus. That's kind of scary. Reminds me a lot of Bets. Bets made basically that exact face at one point. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna join you on El Document. Yeah. I'm going to put my glasses back on.